Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Married at First Sight All-Star Panel. I'm Glenn from Jack and Glenn. With me is also August Love Story and Quad. How y'all guys doing this afternoon?
We're good. He's the July to our August love story.
We're doing great.
I know, man. I know we saw it before we got on here, still celebrating a little bit. But we got a lot to talk about at Married at First Sight. We're coming down to close to decision day. Uh a little hot and heavy for some of these couples, man. It's bouncing between, you don't know which way to go. Some couples are making decisions. Some people making ultimate sacrifices. Some people leaving their rings while they go on business trips. But there's a lot going on with these couples on Married at First Sight. So let's get started here. Let's talk about let's deal with Miguel and Lindy. Miguel and Lindy. Lindy got her insurance card, y'all. She got her she,
Hey.
she got her insurance card. She got some insurance. August Love Story. We start with you. What are your thoughts on Michelle? I mean, give me Michelle. Miguel and Lindy. I call him Michelle because sometimes I think he be acting like a girl. But anyway,
Man,
He
Michelle,
does. He
Miguel
does.
and Lindy.
I was happy for Lindy getting her insurance card. Um, I have always thought that it's not as difficult as everybody makes it seem about this insurance conversation, but I also felt like her changing her name wasn't as big as she was trying to make it out to be. Like you can just go and change it back if it ends. It happens. Um, this last two episodes, because I wasn't here with you guys last week, was just way too much crying for me with Lindy. I was just like, girl, like we gotta stop these tears. But like Miguel, what you're doing is not helping. And everybody's looking at it like I don't want to change who I am at the core, but we got to do some type of figuring out here because I just don't understand why he's so frustrated and then she's not allowed to get frustrated at him being frustrated. Like that was frustrating me.
hmm
You can go ahead.
oh, I'm just like, man, they not gonna make it. Miguel's out the door. He's trying to figure out how to put it on one thing. He's trying to be controlling, trying to blame things on him having a bad weekend. Just not in the right headspace. And I feel like the biggest issue that I had, or what I told Artika was, it was a conversation that they just need to have.
Mhm.
Is when Lindy was sitting down talking with him, and she was like, what did she say? I don't feel comfortable, or something like that. I don't feel comfortable talking with you about my problems or the issues that I have. So the only outlet I have is my friends. Paraphrasing. But her saying that is one of those things that I'm like, that's a simple conversation to have with each other. That's a simple fix. But the way that they're acting, or the way that Miguel is acting, by like, that should be a, I need to correct that now type
Mhm.
of, that needs to be a top of the list priority, because like, in order for it to work, you have to be able to talk to your spouse. And for her to be like, I don't feel comfortable, or I don't feel like I can talk to you about those things, because the first thing he's saying is he's out and she has anxiety, or stuff about that. It's like, fix that.
If you isolate this week though, like of Married at First Sight, like not this week of Married at First Sight, but like this week of their lives, I can see why she would have anxiety with talking to him.
Right.
Because like the picture thing, I asked you to take a picture of me, you complain about it and get pissed off.
Mhm.
Then I ask somebody else to take a picture of me. You complain about it and get pissed off. Like that makes me not want to talk to you because I don't know what to do.
You can't, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't type of
Basically.
deal. And it's unfair to her, and I'm pulling on her side right now, just because he seemed to have picked on her,
Hmm.
throughout this whole episode or whatnot. But it's like, I already felt like he was waiting his 8 weeks First, we started off with him wanting to have sex with her. He got that. Then he's putting these tasks up, like the thing about the name change. Man, I didn't care if you had my name or not, man. You was married to me. Or you are married to me, not was, but you are married to me. And it's like
tomato.
Right. That ain't something, because I understood I wasn't changing my name. You know, and it may mean something. Like, yeah, I want you to have my name, and my name is up for grabs for you. I offer my name to you, but it being an ultimatum is not that's not a real ultimatum to me. So that's
I would have
another
told
thing.
you can go change it if it's an ultimatum.
Right. That's
and we know that wouldn't have happened.
Right. Absolutely not. And so that's another thing. And it's like he's just been piling on the things that he could do to leave the relationship, instead of really trying to dig deep, figure out what's going on and what's wrong, and working through that. Because regardless of what type of day you have at work, your wife didn't do it. Your family didn't cause that day to happen. And if they did, that's something you address to them and not to the rest of the world. So that's my take. They ain't gonna make it.
Talisa, well, thank you for joining us.
Hey,
Your thoughts on Miguel and Lindy. We were talking about Lindy getting her insurance card and Miguel being moody. Still in his feelings. Your thoughts on Miguel and Lindy from this past episode of Married at First Sight?
I'm sure everything y'all said is what I said. Cause listen, he is very much so just waiting his time so that he could say no. Because at this point, everything is a problem, like she said. And I actually kind of feel for poor Lindy, because she's been pretending to be somebody else this entire time. She's been pretending to be the wife Miguel wants by, curtailing her normal personality, her normal firecracker self. And she's a firecracker because she uses the F-bomb quite often. And so I feel like it's unfortunate that she can't open up her mouth and say, this is how you make me feel. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I feel like I can't do anything right. I feel like I feel for her in one breath, and then in the next breath, I'm all like, you want to be married so bad that you're really willing to conform to someone else's idea of what a wife or who you should be is. And as for Miguel, like, he act like he the shit. Like, I swear, he act like he got it all going on and that he got a whole lot of people lined up. And really he don't, because he's so picky and because he has all these like criteria that you seem to have to meet, because you can't talk to me no kind of way. But you can talk to her a specific way, because I feel like sometimes the way he talks to her is a little off-putting to me. And maybe that's just me, because it sounds like he's talking down to her because she's younger than him. What is it, about 8 years? Is that was already probably a red flag for me. Even though, all my men, unfortunately have been older than me by some years. I just have an old soul. Her, not so much. I feel like he wants to control her. Which one of them said, one of them, I want to say it was, because I want y'all to know I just watched the show, okay, while I was in the car. So I think it was, what's the husband's name? What's the husband? Who's the husband? Mitch, who said that you need to be able to be yourself. And somebody should have told her that from the beginning. Like, because he ain't changed who he was at all. And she could have taken a page from Mitch. Hell, she could have taken a page from her own husband, because he has not changed himself at all. He has still been very much so, I got my eye on you. And the moment you mess up, I'm out of here. The moment things aren't going well, I'm out of here. I don't know. Y'all play Dungeons and Dragons? Do y'all play D&D?
Not since I was like 12 or 13 living on the West Coast. Actually, I was living in California at the time last time I played Dungeons and Dragons. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have many people that I know as adults that still play D&D. My son Kingston doesn't even play D&D, and they're all in. I don't have anything wrong with it. Like, I do like a good nerd, but I'm not gonna play D&D with y'all. And I'm gonna make up some stories. I can make up. You want me to help you make the story up? I'm a storyteller, so I can do that. But
I was just confused, and maybe it's because I'd never played Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, it's like, what are we doing here? Because I feel like every time she says something, he's like, no, and throws a curveball. And I'm like, is this how this goes? What's happening?
that's how they life go. He says
Yeah.
no and throws a curveball. So she might have been right with the game feeling like it was indicative to their real life, because I feel like that's him.
She was, because I think he was making up as he went along.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Dragon, I remember it was cards and you rolled dice, and whatever points did happen here, your guy lose energy and lose power and lose things. And he was making up, this is married at first sight land, and the other girl had the little black cloak on, and I'm like, what are y'all doing here? like the other one looked like Little Red Riding Hood. I mean, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And like, yo, was he I guess call it dungeon master or whatever. And he was the dungeon master. I mean, like, it was like, Miguel, can you just tell her you don't like her anymore? Miguel, just tell her that you're not. Yeah, stop playing it within the game.
But he wants to be in control so badly. Like, you can see that he wants all the control. And as long as she was being his little Stepford wife, being pretty and doing the things that he wanted her to do, and not talking back, child, because we can say whatever we want to, not voicing her opinion, he was happy. So I just feel like, now that she was like, take my picture, like, got out of character, that now he don't, I don't see you the same, because I don't like people to talk to me like that. Miguel, sit your little self down, please. Thank you, because you said it, not me.
You know what's key too, Miguel, I don't know if he was ear hustling or he just heard Lindsay when she was talking about, how can you say this about me? Dog, you out here venting. You're venting. You telling me I can't vent?
I forgot all about that. Yeah.
I can't talk. So you can vent to your friend, but I can't say anything. Like, that's how you can tell he was controlling. Let me control the narrative. I don't want you to tell the narrative. I don't want you to tell your side of the story. You just do what I asked you to do. And like Tommy brought it up, you can see that from the beginning where he kind of convinced her to have sex. Kind of forced it, because at one moment we saw her like, no, 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 no. And me and Miguel did it. Like, girl, just a few hours ago, you like, no. How did he convince you that quick? But again, you see the age of Miguel, who's manipulating a young, naive woman in this case. With the insurance situation, I'm happy she got it, but I'm always concerned, like, why didn't you have it before, right? What happens if this relationship, because you're close to the 8 weeks, what if this relationship goes south? As easy as he took to put you on there, he can go ahead and just say, you know what, life-changing event, take her off. Life-changing event, remove her, right? We don't even mess with each other anymore. And then again, she's still like, well, I can always be an LOA. And he was like, well, fine, then go ahead. Do what you want to do. He's like, he at the point where I think he really wants to walk, and he's waiting for her just to continue to maneuver or do something to make him go. But then he bounces back. I love you. And I guess that's part of his controlling behavior as well. Let me see how much I can control her. And do things and how far I can get away with. And I think that's the way he's been doing this relationship, seeing how far he can get. And she's emotional, he's emotional. And I think Miguel might be looking at, can I get anybody else? Can I do anything else after this relationship? Their relationship is weird to me. It's very weird. When you look at it, it is very weird. Like, it's almost like father and daughter than husband and wife, because he's so much controlling on her. And
he presents everything like, I am older, I am wiser, I know more than you. And it messes with her, because like, even from like, I remember her mentioning it about cooking. Like, he would just tell her, no, you should do this first. And she's like, I didn't know if I should or not. So I immediately got defensive. And I can understand why she would feel the need to get defensive if a person is always doing little things like that to you.
I also wanted to bring up the fact that she might not understand the submission because a lot of times when people think about marriage and everything like that, they always think we submit to the spouse, and more so women submit to the man. She may not understand what that is. I feel like a lot of times
Don't
she
get stoned.
oh I feel like a lot of times she's like making herself the secondhand citizen just because he's the man, and like you said, he's older and stuff like that. But it's like for it to
Sir.
okay, I guess I'm done. My son has spoken. But
You got a viewpoint on that too.
right. No, but I
This
just
is
feel like that's what it is. It's like she just come on, man. All right, I'm done. Like, yeah, she don't understand what submission is. I don't think.
On that time, I think she does. I think when you talk about submission, we all know sometimes you got to submit one to other. In other words, you got to be able to have give and take. It seemed like he doesn't want to give, right? And he just wants to take. He just wants her to submit to him. But there's some things she got to realize that she's smart in this relationship, that she has some intelligence, that she can do some things. And I think we saw that from the last episode where she started to have her own voice. She's like, I'm not gonna take this, and she meant exactly that. I'm not gonna take what you've given. I'm not. I'm gonna be who I am, and I don't know if he can handle that because he hasn't seen a 10 yet. We don't know what a 10 is, but he hasn't seen it yet. And she can, like Talisa said, she can put some combinations together.
She can put some combinations together. Listen, and I'm waiting. I want to see. I was like, where are we gonna go do it? Rapid fire now. Like, especially when they were talking about he was talking about it was really heavy and uncomfortable because you were talking to your friend about me, and I'm not gonna be the villain. I thought, sir, when she said I've been the villain, I thought, now, do it now. Curse him out. All the words. Give him all the words because, sir, she has been the villain and she has every right to talk to someone she feels comfortable with about how she feels in a relationship. She does not feel comfortable enough talking about you because we've already established that you want control, that you're in control. But I can talk to my friend and tell her, how I'm feeling, that I don't feel like I can be myself and that I can communicate with you and all these things. I could talk to my friends. Because guess what? You were talking to your friend. It's just that I'm emotional and I was crying. So it feels different. You asshole. Anyway, I'm finished.
I know you fine. I mean, that's the way he comes off to her. But again, I think she's gonna like it. She likes it. I think she ain't going anywhere. She got this insurance, and I think she's gonna stay because she got insurance. Only reason she's staying is because she got some. He must got some bomb insurance. So we'll see. Let's move on. Let's move on to this one. Oh man, anything else on Lindy and Miguel, you guys? You guys anything else on Lindy and Miguel before we move on? Because I want to touch on I want to touch on Stacia and Nate for a little bit, and Stacia is still having her controlling ways, right? She still has her controlling ways, but I'll start with let's start with August's love story. Your thoughts on Stacia and Nate, and Stacia still being controlling?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Stacia's still being controlled. The biggest problem they gonna have is making this house a home for Nate. That is gonna be the biggest issue they're gonna have, just because the house is her house, and giving him rules before they even move in, it's like a telltale sign that, man, it might not be a good situation for you in this house for a little while. I don't know what they need to do to make him feel comfortable, and I think that's something he really needs to think about and really communicate with her. Hey, this would make me feel comfortable. This would be good for me and the house. Taking him to a store to look at knobs and door knobs and pulls and everything like that. Yeah, that's him giving a contribution to it, but for me, that's one of the things I wouldn't care to look at. But just really understanding, like, hey, this is our home, this is where we live, this is what we're doing and stuff like that. I I think she's gonna struggle with it because she's gonna understand that it's her house. Now the other issue is I think she's not I think he's overthinking children and she's underthinking it. Right? Ain't that what I said on our yeah. Um because it's like she's like, I want to have kids and have fun. Like, yeah, you're gonna have fun with your children, but it's gonna be a point where you're like, some of the stuff that you were doing, you can't do. And Nate finally said like what he needed to say about his mom, about her mindset being so young and why he was with his dad and his mom wasn't a part of his life. And I think that's something for her to look at as well, just because to reassure him on that front, just because it's like he's looking at the situation as she's looking at a child as a piece, like a piece of jewelry, something you wear, and when you get tired of it, you can just put it up or something like that. That's the way he's looking at the situation with her and having children. She has to assure him that that's not what it's going to be, because she even was like, when he brought up his mom was 23, she was like, but I'm 37. Obviously, he's not thinking about the age that you are. He's thinking about the fact that you don't have children, and you having a child, bringing a child in with him. He don't want you to think, oh, it's just going to be peaches and roses and rainbows and stuff like that. So
their conversation about kids make me wonder how close they have both been to children, like to someone that has kids, because it absolutely changes like everything about your dynamic. Like, we just like a small example for us with two small kids, we've had to start incorporating like a weekly Lily can sleep in the bed with us, because she feels left out because her brother's in the bassinet in our room, but she's the only person that goes to sleep in her own room. And something that's that small, you never think about prior to having kids, but it's like it's literally something that changes about your dynamic that you don't expect for it to happen. I think that I get his standpoint of like, he's like, I'm all into age 3, but he's like, we not taking vacations. And I'm like, are we not taking vacations, or are we not taking long vacations? Because I can get with you on the, I don't want somebody else to watch my baby for 7 days. Again, things that have happened to us recently. Lily went away for what, 10 days, 12 days to my mom's house. And when she came back, she was a totally different child. And it's like having somebody else watch your child, you just don't know what you're coming back to. But I think that she's like, I can be a cool mom. I'm like, yeah, you can be the cool mom. However, everything's not going to go the way that you want it to, unless you're already talking about hiring in people to fill in all the stuff that you don't want to do so you can continue living the life that you've been living. And if that's what it is, say that to him up front, because that's not where his mindset is. He's looking at it like, I'm going to be like my dad. I'm there every day. And so it's a different vantage point. And I really do believe that they need to be around people that have kids and talk about the kids and how they've changed their relationship, for lack of better words.
Kids change your whole life, okay? I'm just now texting my oldest son who's trying to give me some directive, and he's 26. If he don't sit down somewhere, kids, okay? They got it all mixed up, okay? That's what I do know. But y'all know how I feel about people moving into somebody else's space. I don't think that's a good idea. I never have. I never will. That is her home that she built from the ground. Was it from the ground up, or she just bought it and she from the ground up? I'm just not a fan of that, because of the simple fact that, like he said, he's smart enough to understand that this is your house. Though you can make all the accommodations, and you could let me pick all the knobs on the cabinets, and we could change the doorknobs or whatever, and you can let me put grass in the back, because that's an issue, concrete versus grass. You can do all of those things as a compromise. But innately in his mind, as well as hers, it's still their house. I don't think he's ever going to feel like it's my house too, unless his name is on that deed. It is not his house. It is her house. They could be married. Okay, that's great. But they did have a post-nup, and that post-nup probably included the house. Like all of these things, I think that he's smart enough to understand that I don't want to play this game with you, Stacia. You do want to be in control of things, and you can be in control of things because this is your house. I mean, we're talking about dishes in the sink. I don't want no dishes in the sink. Girl, wait till you had them babies. I don't want to make sure you get a roll when you see the roll empty. Sometimes that's not what you're doing. You're running in and you're going to use the bathroom and you're running out and you forget, especially if the toilet tissue is not right next to you. Listen, I'm talking from experience. I'm always yelling, Kingston, I forgot. Even though I got 2 or 3 rolls that I normally, you clean the bathroom, you add more rolls. But there's times that you forget. So some of the things I think that she asked for can be a little unreasonable and are meant for a single woman. You can have all the idiosyncrasies, you can have all the rules and expectations when you live alone. When you start thinking about somebody else and incorporating someone else into your life, you have to consider them. And I don't know if Stacia is in that space. Though I like her, I don't know if she's in that space where she can be like, I can really compromise. Like, I don't know. Mona said it in the comments. They should go ahead and just rent that house out and get something that they both have. Like, and I'm a firm believer. Now, I told y'all I'm not getting married again, but just so happens, an almost semi-perfect guy walks around because, he's not going to be perfect. Let's just say he shows up. He's got a house. I got a house. His house could be bigger and better than mine. I'm not moving in there. Okay, we can live separately or we're going to go ahead and find us somewhere that we can have together collectively because I'm not doing it. You're not going to put me out. You're not going to get mad at me and tell me how this is your house. You're not going to do none of that. So, yeah, that's how I feel. And everything y'all said about the kids, plus whatever Glenn's about to say, times 18 because these kids, when I respond back to this boy, these kids, okay, you are never, ever not a parent, okay? He talking about till they 3. I'm going to be all in till they 3. Sir, I bet you called your daddy last week. I bet you called him. Like, sir, knock it off. You are a parent for the rest of your God-given life. The end. Like, I don't know.
Stacia with all the white in the house. She must not never been around a baby, right? Babies drool. Babies spit up. Babies poop. And it runs out of their onesie. Little boys shoot rainbows. Right? And so that all that white may just turn a little bit yellow every once in a blue moon, right? It is bound to happen. I don't care how perfect you are or how comfortable you're going to be. Something's going to take place when you add children into the mix in your relationship. Kids spill things. You can put all the sippy cup things on top. You spill things as a human being, right? Y'all have parties and functions. It kind of reflects the perfect life, right, that she wants to present. Even went to the point where she had the pillows. Remember, like earlier, she had her bedroom all staged and set, look like nobody lives in it. Well, some Saturday mornings, guess what? Nate's gonna want to lay in the bed later than you want to. Some Saturday morning, Nate ain't gonna want to make the bed and put the 50 million pillows on the bed like you want to, right? There's gonna be some day you and Nate might oversleep and y'all hop up and y'all have to go somewhere together. It's not gonna be like that. So guess what? The perfect little house. I understand you got the OCD and understand being clean. I understand all that. Trust me. But in life, in marriage, there's some things that change within the home, and I think she doesn't adjust well with change, especially with the controlling aspect. Nate is 100% right. I don't care what cabinet I pick, whatever. Guess what? When you may get mad, you may say, "This is my house," and I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to feel like it's a home. So guess what we may do? We may sell this house. We may get another house. We may rent this house out. But guess what? And Nate may not ever feel comfortable in that home. I know me and Jack did it when we was married and we got married. She had a townhouse. It was great. She never had that issue of this was her home or my home. I felt comfortable. I felt real good until we started having kids. Like, you know what? We don't have enough space. So let's go get one together. Let's go get one. Let's get one together. So it may be even that aspect, even if she may not be that way, which I think Stacia is that way a little bit. It's her way. Because even when he talked about, let's get a little bit of grass back here, she looked at him like, no, I said, I'm going to get a patio. Bro was just talking about a little bit of grass, right? You know what I'm saying? She looked at him like, nah, I don't think that's the case. When he talking about cabinets, he was like, Nah, I don't like that neither. Then why you ask my opinion? And when I give you my opinion, you can be like, nah, you don't like that. She's controlling with the house. I think she's controlling in the relationship, not in a bad. She's trying, and I don't think she's intentionally trying to be that controlling. It's just that she likes to do things her way, and this is her. The house to her is an achievement, something that she accomplished. The house to her is something that she was able to do on her own and she was able to build. So it's an accomplishment thing to her. And so it's like, you know what? I really take pride in this house because I designed it. So you see the hexagon black tiles on the floor. I really like these. That's the way I really like that. So again, it is an accomplishment to her. And anything that messes her accomplishment up or puts a hole in that, Nate's in trouble. Lord forbid he accidentally put a hole in the wall, right? Lord forbid a kid accidentally break a window. Right, Lord forbid. So he actually have a friend over. They come scuff the floor up with their tennis shoes, right? Or they forget to take their shoes off. I mean, it's gonna be something when you have a home and you add different people into it. Something's bound to happen in the home. You don't intentionally do it. It just sometimes you pull a drawer out too fast and the drawer breaks, or you pull you do something of that nature. How does she handle if something gets messed up in the home? And I think that's gonna be her OCD and her patience is gonna be tried. Her help having Nate to being forgiving for Nate is going to be tried as well. So she has to do those things. Again, her expectations and what she expects, I think, are too lofty, and that she may need to come down. I don't ask to lower her standards, but be a realist. And a realist is everything's not going to be 100%. Or just do. I think somebody said hire a maid, and hire a nanny. You make sure somebody's on staff 24/7, right? And make sure all that. Even then, something's bound to happen. Something's going to transpire. So don't get so caught up in the house that it's messes with your marriage, because the house can be gone one day. You want the marriage to last forever. So then she needs to be caught up in Nate, so her and Nate can, let's try to build. Because what's to say? I think Nate said something. What if you have a special needs child, right? What happens if you have somebody who has special needs? What happens if you think you having one child at a time, but somehow you end up having twins? Now you got double duty. Some things transpire. I think Noy was like that. I want 3 kids, but can you handle 3 kids at one time? What if you have triplets? And so at this point, you banking on just having 1 kid at a time. It may be you may have multiple kids, and you might want to just prepare for things. And on Nate's, I want to be my child's life from 0 to 3. They don't remember you. They remember you a little bit, but you should want to be in their life the whole. What's going to happen after 3? That's the only thing I'm thinking. Like, what's going to happen after 3? Like, are you going to go back to work? Or did anybody else realize, like, is Nate trying to say he going to be a stay-home dad? Was he trying to say that he's going to be a stay-home dad?
That's what he was like. I'm going to be all in until at least the age of 3. And that's when they got to the conversation about, like, no date nights, no vacations. But it kind of did sound like he wanted to, like, be at home. Yeah. And I don't mean, like, after work. I mean, like, at the house.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Like, Stacia got the money. You get it together. I'll be here with the baby.
Yeah. I have nothing wrong with that. I just try to get clarity, because I'm trying to pick that up. Like, was he trying to be a stay-home dad? But then again, people says, I know if Jack was here, she'd tell you, when we had kids, when our kids were younger, we had vacations. We took the kids. We took the kids, or we let somebody. That's what grandparents are for. Especially when they 0 to 3 or they're not school age, go hang out with grandparents for a week. Oh, spring break, y'all go that way. Oh, it's summertime. You know what? Go spend a couple weeks with your grandparents. That's what you have a support system for. If you trust your support system, you know what I'm saying? If you trust those around them here's a standard with our kids. This is what we do. This is what we don't do. Go take that vacation. Go take that weekend, because you're going to need it in marriage. If you don't need it, if you don't get it, it's going to be a problem. You need those breaks from your kids. And I love my kids. One turned 18 today. But guess what? When it's time to take a break, we take a break. When it's time to say, you know what, y'all stay here. Oh, your grandma's coming next week to stay with y'all. Deuces. You know what I'm saying? See y'all in a little bit. You need those. So guess what? And even with little kids, you can still take breaks. You pack the bag up, you pack all the milk up, you pack all the formula up. Here y'all go. We'll be back on Sunday afternoon. So I'll let you guys, anybody else want to share on Stacia and Nate? Because one of mine is calling my name right now. Daddy.
I think man, I think they're just overlooking this kid thing, man. Like it's they're looking at it from two different lenses, and they're gonna mess up like their marriage with that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna focus so much on having children, they're not gonna focus on them actually having to be married and get along and enjoy each other. Because she's like, I think she said in this one, she don't think Nate will be ready in a year.
Stasha's very if I need to have your opinion, I'll give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the opinion that she has for him. Is he not gonna be ready?
Like, but it's like it's not a sense of him being ready. Are y'all as a couple ready to have children and bring children into this world? Like I said before, she has to get comfortable with there's a chance that she may not be able to have children. You know, that's just something you have to get comfortable with because you don't have children now.
Mhm.
It could be something wrong with his soldiers. They ain't marching right. Or, you know, it could be something wrong with her. You know, you never know, but you have to get comfortable with who you are married to. She has to get comfortable with Nate and find with this is how life is.
Mhm.
Once you get that, okay, you bring children in, they're the plus. Then your life changes in a certain way that you needed to change to deal with your children.
Mhm.
So that was my little.
That was nice because your whole world changes when you had that baby. That first night you bring that baby home from that hospital. Your whole
Man.
life.
Not even from the hospital. Like I remember telling one of my cousins that the hospital I delivered the kids at didn't have a nursery, and she was like, "So who keeps the baby after you have it?" I was like, "Me." She was like, "They don't give you a break the first day."
They were easy
Yeah, we
me
ain't
to
getting
this
unless
day.
your baby in the NICU, you are not getting a break. There is no break.
Right.
And I think they come in and do all the like vitals and stuff right in the room. Like I think that's
They
what
do.
they if there's no break, you are, hi mom, look at your baby.
Lily never left me from the time she delivered herself because she's a doctor in case y'all didn't know. She delivered herself from the time she delivered herself until we got home. I never not had eyes on her or Tommy didn't have eyes on her. Literally the only time I didn't see her was when I went to take a shower or use the bathroom. Outside of that, she was right there
Mm-hmm.
looking at us.
See, we was blessed. Our hospital, you could have them, and then you like, can y'all take them back to the nursery just for a minute? Like we wanted some sleep or something like that. But for the most time, we had her in the room. Well, yeah, had her in the room. The boy, I think we was like, can y'all take him for a minute? And not in a bad way. I think he was in the afternoon, so she had been up a long time, so we hadn't really slept. I'm like, yo, let's get some sleep. And the third one, I can't remember. I think hers was in the middle of the day, but we felt pretty much kept both of them there. But again, your life changed. I mean, your sleep patterns change. When you get home, if you stay in the hospital, you may not like doing any dishes, right? For the first couple of weeks, your wife ain't gonna don't want to feel like nobody will feel like cooking. Nobody feel like doing any of that stuff. So you order out, or you may have something here. Stasha ain't gonna feel like moving. Nate ain't gonna feel like moving. Somebody's gonna have to change the baby. So it's just a lot of things that everybody wants the baby, but when you actually have the child or have the children, a lot of things change. And I think and I know her clock in her eyes is ticking, right? It's that she wants that baby right away, right? Within a year, let's be pregnant, let's do this. She's doing everything quick. If you look at it, the name changes quick before the 8 weeks is over. The house is everything established. She wants this life of marriage so bad that she's willing to go all in right now. And like, hey, you know what? Let's get married. Let's have a baby. Let's knock it out. I'm 37 years old because I don't want to be 63 and gray and my baby graduate. You know?
You make a good point about how she is very strategic, which kind of makes you think maybe she won't put Nate out because she wants these things so badly that she'll just put up with his shit. So maybe that's the whole ass thing. That was a good point, Glenn.
Oh, thank you. So let's see. We're friends this week. But she does. I think she does. Because both of them come from like divorce situations. Mom left Nate. Her dad left her, and she don't like him. So I think they both in the mindset. You know what? Let's keep this together. Who was that? Elijah and Katina, I think, last season where they both had separate parents. They wanted to just stay married to be married or change the family dynamic. So I think that's where she's at with Nate. I think they'll be together for a while, unless Nate cheats. But he said he's not a cheater. We still ain't seen Becky with the good hair in a while. He might just cut her off.
You don't have to cheat if you're not in a relationship.
True. Good
So
point.
he didn't have to be a cheater because he wasn't in a relationship.
Good point.
That's funny.
Check. And I'm on that note. We're going to move on to somebody else. Look, I can't say nothing else about that. Let's move on to Let's go with Mitch. I'll save Alexis and Justin for last. Let's go with I'm gonna take my ring off at my conference, let my hair down, do some karaoke, and be in a hot tub with Babe. Mitch. Talisa, we're gonna start with you and Mitch.
Mitch is hilarious to me. I just find him like hilarious. Like, first off, I appreciate him being as honest as he is, because he didn't have to tell her, but he didn't tell her. That's right. The ring was sitting in the cup holder or something, and he didn't have it on. And so then he had to share. And then his sharing is when he shared all the information about, the drinking and the partying and the hanging over and the oh yeah, I don't want to tell nobody that I didn't want to tell nobody and have to explain that I got married at first sight. Just people that I'm close with. I find him to be hilarious, okay? And it's because I feel like he thinks that, she don't have no options. I don't have no options. I can be honest and we're going to be together. Like, I really feel like when I watch him, I think to myself, yo, it's hilarious. Like, you have no filter. You don't care. And she's just like, what? I guess that's what it is. Like, I don't know, y'all. Like, they're kind of made for each other because of the way their dynamic works. They do seem to be in a better place, but sir, put the ring on. I wear a ring sometimes on this finger, but it's not a wedding ring. It's a ring for decoration. You don't have to answer anybody's questions about your ring. You I don't know, y'all married? Y'all taking off y'all rings when y'all go to conferences? Like, I'm just curious, Tommy, Glenn, y'all taking off y'all rings because y'all don't want nobody to know? I mean, y'all been married a while now. So let's just say first couple years, okay? Y'all taking off y'all rings?
Nah. My ring on.
My ring has been on for 21 years straight.
Yeah, I'm all like, do you take it off to wash your hands? To
shower?
Yeah.
Nah. I take mine off, like, when I sleep and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But when I go outside of the home,
she in the bed, right? This you.
Yeah.
And then
when I go outside of the home, I try to have it on.
Okay.
Just because I feel naked without it, honestly.
I'm the villain.
You're the villain. You're the villain.
Never have it on.
I think innately your spirit is a little villainous. I really think so. It's a little rebellious. It is. When I think about her, when we talk after, I think her spirit has always been a little rebellious. I think about when I got married and I took my ring off because it was uncomfortable, right? It needed to, I was, a little round, so it needed to be sized up. And when I tell you that man told me a new one about my ring and taking it off and how I should never take it off, it's a sign of our commitment and our love. And are you trying to be with someone else? So for me, I'm looking at him going, she should be like, I don't like it. She never said, I don't think she ever voiced that she wasn't okay with it. She was supposed to say, well, I'm not okay with this. I want you to keep your ring on. And I understand that it might be uncomfortable for the CEO, but the CEO isn't your wife. That's not who you're married to. That's not who you're trying to stay with. Like, they are perfect for each other because who else is gonna deal with that? I don't know. You saw
he needs a bath.
What's her name? The one I'm not the fan. Alexis. That's not her name. Is that her name? Alexis. Yeah, I'm not too much. You saw when they mentioned it at dinner, she was looking like you don't have your ring on. Like, what? Why you won't got your ring? Huh? Like, then don't wear it. Never wear it. get you guys some little symbols on your little ring finger. But I don't know. Some people don't. Some people don't wear it. I don't know. If I was married, I would want my husband to wear his ring because I didn't committed myself to you, and it's a big deal. Okay, for me, it's gonna be a big deal. You better wear that ring. Matter of fact, don't even take it off when you go to bed. When I get up and go to the bathroom, it should be on your hand, or I'm gonna put it on your hand. Like if I get married again, that's how I feel. Like I don't know. I'm gonna let y'all be serious about these people, these two, because I don't know. Like I like Krysten. That's not her name. That is her name.
Uh-huh.
I like Krysten, but she keeps just falling into the same cycle of not like speaking up for herself until it boils over, and then it's like, ah. Tell the man that you didn't like it. You were uncomfortable with it, and I really wish you would have wore your ring. Do you think that in the future, when you go to conferences and you're in hot tubs and you're having drinks and you're going surfing, can you wear your ring? I have this workout group I'm with. This girl, she says my ring is uncomfortable. She bought those little rubber band rings. Y'all ever seen them little? And those are a little more comfortable for working out. But she makes sure that she has her ring on. She never not has it, and I feel like Krysten is doing herself a disservice by not speaking up and waiting again to the last minute to be like, oh, I didn't like it. Because I feel like next week she's going to be like, well, I really didn't like it. Instead of in the car, like, yo, put your ring on. Leave your ring on. I'm not happy, and this is why. I'm done. Soapbox off.
August love story.
I'm going to say that I, in our review, defended Mitch not having his ring on. And, that's just it. No, the circumstances, right? For them being married at first sight, that's why I can defend him not having his ring on. Because if everybody at your job has known you to be single for however many years, and then all of a sudden you got on this ring, they be like, what happened? And that's a lot of unnecessary conversation that you just might not want to have. So that's why I can defend the not wearing the ring situation. However, I agree with you, Talisa. It was a point of contention for Krysten. She should have said something because you can't go back and put your ring on for this conference, but you can know how it made your wife feel and act accordingly in the future. So being able to just say that in the moment, like, hey, I don't like that you don't wear your ring. Just put it out there, say it, let it be heard, and not just bring it up passive aggressively in every conversation that you have with other people. Because first off, Alexis is just not high on my list of people that I would be discussing things in front of. However, it can't get back to Mitch because he was also there. That's one of the bigger issues with Alexis. But I do think that she has issues with him being around, quote unquote, what did she say? Beautiful beach babes. None of them was trying to holler at him before. He ain't finna get that way.
On him, girl, did you see your husband?
Like, nah, it's not on the list of things to do for them. They're like, Mitch is like my brother. Mitch is the cool guy at work. Some of them might be in their 40s. That's why I'm saying their brother instead of Uncle Mitch. But the ring situation, I get it in the setting of Married at First Sight. Anything else, I would be like, is your ring not comfortable? We can go get you a new ring. Like, I sold jewelry for 7 years. We can make something work if that's what you want to do. However, you have to say that and verbalize that to him for him to understand. You got something? You need your mic? Okay. Tommy.
I will say this though. Artika is like, it bothered me at first, but then once I understood who Artika was, I didn't think about it because it's like it's just who she is.
You want me to start back wearing my ring?
I don't care if you do, if you don't.
Okay.
It is what it is. Like, you married. I got the license. It's right there.
And I will tell people my husband said no
Yeah.
about everything. So they know I'm married.
Nah, I'm with you on the if it's a point of contention, you need to let that be known. But if you're just like, oh, you didn't have your ring just to bring up conversation, like, I guess say that too. Kind of be truthful in what you're trying to say, and don't put any confusion about it. Why he didn't wear the ring, I'm not in agreement with that. Like, just put your ring on. You don't have to talk about it. But I don't know. Me, on the other hand, I'm gonna wear my ring because it's mine. It's a piece of jewelry that I have that I should be proud of wearing. So,
I feel like that was an attack.
no attacks.
He could easily have told them, just wait a couple months. It'll be on TV because everybody's gonna know now. Like,
Right.
Because now they're gonna be like, why you didn't say nothing? You was doing this while we was on the retreat or the conference or whatever. Why you didn't say that?
But the people around him knew.
Yeah.
That was the thing. The people around him that he was really around already knew that he was married.
Right. They had
like,
he said they came to the wedding. Something like you're saying. Some of the people he knew had said they came to the wedding, so they knew. I just took it as this like it was an international or a United States a national conference where there's a lot of people he hadn't seen in months or maybe years, or maybe this is the first one after the pandemic. They're gonna say, "Hey, Mitch, what you been up to?" My thing was, I think we said in our review, how many people to notice Mitch's hand anyway?
They're gonna notice his bald head first.
Who to notice? To me, I'm gonna ask you guys this: it seemed like Mitch didn't even take it on the trip. It seemed like he left it in a cup holder.
It was probably in a cup holder the whole time.
And the whole time, because it seemed like he drove himself to the airport, or she drove, whatever. It seemed like it was in a cup holder the whole time. That he never even took it on the trip. That's what it appeared to me. I mean, I might be wrong. One of y'all in the chat let me know.
Right, what y'all know different.
Yeah, what y'all know different. It seemed like he didn't even take it. And I don't think she was. I saw a lot of things. People said the NDA. Maybe it was the NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Mitch could have easily went, you know what? I met this girl, and I think I did a video on it. I met this girl named Krysten. I really like her. We've been married. We've been married for a couple of weeks now, and I appreciate her. He could have talked his wife up. He could have gave her some kudos. Remember, she already has self-esteem issues. She already has issues as a problem. That she feels like I'm not attracted because we already went through the whole I'm attracted situation. And for him to come back with like, oh, there's some real hot beach babes there, or they a lot of surfer girls or beach girls, you're telling your wife that, guess what? There's other women prettier than you that was there. Now, even though there might have been women prettier than her there, you don't tell her that. you don't say that. You say, you know what, it was all right. Then he caught himself. He's like, oh, no, that wasn't pretty of you. But you already said it, Mitch. And you proved it because you was in a hot tub with these girls with no ring on, drinking, all right, and singing karaoke and listening to 90s hip hop, all right, and try to be cool. So you at this point, Mitch, like, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to do? He was insulting your wife, right? One, you insulted her by not having your ring on. Two, you telling her there's other pretty women there. Three is you telling her because when he put it back on, he said, "Oh, I guess I'm married again," which implied that while at this conference you acted like you were single. So what is she supposed to think? That you are you trying to be single this week and just live it up and without me? This ring is just a symbolization of marriage, and some people wear them, some people don't. I'm not here for either one of those. If I just took it off, I am married. I had a job where it was hazardous and got all bent up, and I think there was a period of time that I might not have wore it. But it's been still on my finger for so long, it's bent up. For example, my dad and my mom had been married for 40 years. And my dad just got new rings. And the jeweler, when my dad went to get the new ring, like asked the jeweler, Mr. Thomas, when the last time you had this ring off? He said, like, the day before I got married. They had to cut it off. He literally had to cut the ring off his finger. And he had been to Afghanistan, he's been to Iraq several times, been in multiple wars, and even while in the military fighting and all that, he had never taken his ring off. Because just the symbolization of what their marriage stands for and still is. So there's a lot of people who look at the rings. I know people who don't wear rings, but their marriage is so committed. As you said to Lisa, they got the tattoo on their finger, right? It's not about the jewelry; it's about the commitment. But in 8 weeks with Mitch and Krysten, she needs that reassurance. He got to, again, read the room or read the car, read your spouse, whatever you want to call it. Know your spouse. Some spouses need that reassurance, bro. I need you to have that ring on because I need to know that you're committed to me and I'm committed to you. So you have to know your spouse and what makes your spouse feel comfortable. It may not be your words sometimes, but it may be your actions. Maybe you having a ring on. Maybe they've been in a relationship where somebody had cheated on them and did things, and they need the reassurance that, you know what, he's keeping his ring on. And again, you don't want that smoke, right? You take it off and you had it off a couple of days and you can't find, like, why your ring off? So again, Mitch just has to be thoughtful and think things out as a man. Like, it could cause me some more headache and more stress in my relationship by not having it on. And I don't think he thought about that, because when he was on after party with Keisha Knight Pulliam and she brought it up, he was like, oh, I never thought about that. His honesty and truthfulness is just, it's like he's nice. He's 41, but he's very naive to be at 41. And you can tell he hasn't been in a lot of relationships. So I think that's what Mitch is at. Mitch is just naive. And hopefully, but he couldn't read that she was hurt. He might not have said it, but she was hurt.
She was. She definitely was. And I wish she would have just said it.
Me too, Artika. I wish she would have said it in the moment when she asked the question. And he put that ring on and said, oh, I was single, or whatever the stupid thing he said was. She was supposed to then say, I didn't appreciate that. I would, I don't like it. It hurts my feelings. In the future, can you? I wish she would have said that, because it ain't going to be nothing but another boiling plate that's going to happen, later. Something she's just maybe I just have an issue with people who just like, keep count, take a list, take track of everything you've done wrong, and then you blow up on me at the end. I'd rather you share it with me when it happens. Don't tell me 6 months down the line that you think I'm snappy, that every time I get in the car with you that I'm snappy. Okay, it's a personal thing. Okay, you think that I'm not happy because I just got in the goddamn car. What you mean? Like, anyway, that's just a pet peeve of mine. I want people to share with me in the moment. If you think that there's something happening, please let me know, because in 6 months, I'm probably not going to remember this small idiosyncrasy that you saw that wasn't even about you. So say, if it's bothering you, please tell me now. I can't fix it otherwise. Right? That's my own stuff. Okay, my own bags. Call me bag lady.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, I'd rather be open for. Let me know what's going on now. If you got an issue, let's not waste days. Let's not waste hours. Let's not waste the time. Let's not waste a moment. If you're mad, say you're mad, and let's try to work this thing out. At least I know which way to play, right? I know how to play the field. Whether we can be mad all day, whether I know how to maneuver. If I need to make up, whatever case may be, let's say I'm sorry and keep it moving. But I don't do the whole we mad, just be mad all day type of situation stuff. Let's get over it. Let's move on. And don't hold it 6 months and you want, like you said, 6 months and bring something up. Because in 6 months, I probably forgot. Matter of fact, in about a week, 2 days, I probably forgot what you was mad at. Just let those things ride. Anything on Mitch and Krysten, because that was a whole mess. Let them know. And then when they was talking to Alexis and Justin, which again, can y'all help me? Why do everybody talk to Alexis and Justin?
Alexis has this girl, you can tell me anything demeanor. And so the girls tell her anything.
Right, she does. She has a very, I would even say that if you don't know, a very welcoming spirit. Like, you can sit and confide in me. You can trust me, kind of like, because people tell me stuff all the time. I'd be like, I don't know you. We just sat down. Why are you telling me that your baby daddy put you on child support, but you've been having a kid the whole time? Why is you telling me that? I don't know you, baby. I don't have no advice. Right?
Right.
But, now that they know Alexis, they should not be telling her anything.
Because she has loose lips.
Yes, she's sinking all the ships.
She and Justin both have loose lips. She's just the beginning of the telephone game.
But you know what? I think that's the one thing they have in common. That's why they talk. They're just, their conversation to me is just gossip of everything that happened in somebody else's relationship. They don't share their own stuff. Girl, do you know? Boy, did you hear?
You might be right about that. You might be right about that, Glenn.
Their conversation is just everything about somebody else. That's why they can't fix their own stuff. It is. But while
What
we
they can't talk about though is Stacia and Nate because Nate ain't offering up anything.
Nothing.
He
no,
basically goes as far as saying, "I don't like her."
Oh, that's it. And you saw? Okay, we ain't there yet. Or maybe did y'all do them already? Did y'all do?
no, we're on Alexis and Justin now. I'm gonna help you. It's just us ladies, y'all ladies, and me. Tommy stepped out for a minute.
Yeah, Tommy is putting his namesake to sleep.
How did you guys feel? Because I know as a man, I felt bad for Justin when they was in a car and she told my man he didn't have any thrust game.
Oh my God.
That was a gut punch.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Do they have a machine for thrusting? Oh my God. Girl, you something else. You something else. You something else.
I wish he would have had a equally as like mean jab for her.
Yeah.
I don't know what he could have said, but I wish he would have had something equally to say. It's just like I don't even know. It's rude at a totally different level of being rude.
Yes.
Because I see nothing wrong with constructive criticism
At all.
I also think that you could say, hey, I would like it more if you did this. That's the way to get what you want. But do I got a machine for thrusting? Like, you fix your mouth to say that.
You fix your mouth and did not feel a way about it after you said it in front of millions of people on TV. Like for me, I think that she's very callous, and now we know why she has nobody. I don't give a damn how many times she got asked to be married before she was 30, because that was all way before time. That woman is callous and mean.
I mean, I can't even say how many times people ask you, if you walk down the street in New York City, you're going to get a proposal.
Let me go to New York just so people can be like,
this literally, literally the last time I went to New York, it was me and like 6 friends, and every street corner, one of us got a random proposal for something, whether it be marriage or you want to come back to a hotel room. Somebody got asked something.
Right.
So that should not have been a conversation that a camera was privy to.
Agreed.
She should have told him that when they would have it after they had sex, right? Or you know what, that was a little but the man already knew that his sex game wasn't good, right? He already understood that he couldn't thrust, right? Or because he said my stamina's messed up, right? He understood what it was, and that was the first time. So they had sex multiple times. He said, I realized that my stamina is what I need. I need to get on the treadmill. And she should have left it right then and there.
Right there.
Right? She's like, well, there's a machine for thrusting. Well, girl, if you wanted to thrust, Jackie said, and I'm going to say what she said, go back on what she said. Why she just didn't hop on top?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Situation.
Right.
Situation. Right. Oh, that's because you want to be dominated, remember? That's
right. You want to be dominated. Right. If the man ain't doing what you want, how about you take control of the situation? I was felt bad for him because his face was like you're embarrassing this dude, and I had to go. My mind went all the way back to everything she said. Oh. Like you talked about, he had wet dreams.
He's celibate.
You being celibate. You talked about the man not being able to his stamina not being where it's supposed to be at. You've put this dude, if they don't stay married, and if there is someone else, he's going to have to really step his game up to the next person. Hopefully this person that he messed with next, if it's not Alexis, didn't watch TV, didn't know he was on the show, because they can be like, oh, your game week?
They ain't concerned about that. They see that she's a mean girl. They are not concerned about that.
Yeah,
what she didn't say was anything about his actual anatomy. So they are not concerned about that. They feel like, I'm telling you, everything else can be fixed. And I don't understand what her issue is, because if you're having a conversation, it can be fixed. All of that, desires. You just say just teach him what you want. Now, listen, at my age, maybe you don't want to, but y'all still in your 30s.
Right.
Teach him exactly what you want. I mean, I do still.
It seems like he's sexually naive anyway. just some of the things he say and some of the things he has done on the show.
And
seem
some
like
of the jokes he's missed.
Yeah, some of the jokes he's missed. It seemed like he's sexually naive. So again, he may need that teaching. He may come from a back when he wasn't really sexually active like that and didn't see things or explore things. And again, be a teacher. It's okay. So everybody's not on the same level in marriages when it comes to sex. They're not. It's just the way it is. Some people have more experience. Some people have less experience. There's some things he likes, some things you like. Again, that's where the conversation. You don't blast them. Oh, you blast them. And I'm kind of mad at Married at First Sight for keeping that on TV.
For actually posting that. They could have because we know that they have a lot of footage and they do edit and show what they want, and they could have left that out because my heart was broken for him in that moment. I said, "Do they got some for thrusting?"
Like, yo, I felt bad for him.
You thrust? What? Oh,
yo, Alexis, yo, she is
wow. She wild.
She wild. She wild. And then we go to you guys' thoughts on the reunion between Justin and Maya.
I cried. I literally cried. Like I literally cried in the car. Y'all don't be mad at me. Don't think I'm crying, but my little heart was broke because I was like, that woman don't want him, and the person that do want you, you got to the dog that wants you. You have to give it away. I cried, and then when the friend came and took the dog, and the dog was excited, I was like, this is so sad. My heart. Oh my God! It felt like he was his child. I'm sorry. Did he cry? I didn't see no tears. But then again, I was really listening more than watching.
I don't remember any tears, but that doesn't mean anything because I was multitasking. I was watching Married at First Sight and the game at the same time. So it's a lot going on in my.
That's how you know that we are experts in watching and reviewing Married at First Sight. Most people can't do more than one thing.
I just usually tell the TV if I missed something, rewind 30 seconds, if it was something I really wanted to catch.
Yeah, you got a fancy TV.
We was multitasking here as well. You know, because it's like this dude, and I had to put it in perspective. He was like, what caught me was Justin, like Alexis said she don't want to be there when Maya go away. Why not? That's your husband. You should be wanting to support him in this time. If it was Newton that you was giving away, you wouldn't want him to support you. My thing was like, you know, why is he making all the effort? How come you don't send Newton to your mom like she suggested? She found out on an after party. You know, send Newton away. How about y'all have a relationship with no animals, right? Mm-hmm. How about you see how that works out? You know what? All right, Maya can't come back here, but can we just work on us with no animals and see how we can grow together? He's giving his dog to somebody who's 17 hours away.
Right, he can't go down the street. It's not like it's the home. I thought originally that the guy lived in San Diego. I was like, oh, he'll be able to get to see. When he said 17 hours, I was like devastated again. Like, right. Oh,
like 17 hours.
I was mad that nobody nearby was like, yeah, I'll take the dog.
Well, I mean, that's because Maya likes that white man.
Right.
Yeah. Gonna bite him.
Ain't gonna bite him.
And Maya been out here biting other dogs. So I mean,
Maya's with the business.
Not just Newton. Like Maya, like you want some? I got the smoke.
I got the smoke.
You want some? Get some. But even when she even was sitting on the couch, she was looking like she was uninterested. When he was sitting there talking about the dog, and she's sitting there like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like she didn't even care. Your husband is going through. Where's the emotion at? Where's the comforting spirit at? Where are you going to hold his hand or let him know it's going to be okay? We're going to try to work it out. We're going to try to bring Maya back. But only thing that made me think about, what if they had came into this relationship, right? And Justin had a child. Alexis had a child. And Justin's child actually put hands on Alexis' child. Would Justin be putting this child up for adoption? Like, what would Justin be doing with this if it was two kids? What would happen?
Even when they fold 3, they be fighting. That's mine.
I'm gonna say even when they are like each other siblings,
yeah,
not just somebody else. Is like we related and we gonna fight,
right? So that's the only thing I thought about. Like, oh man, if there was like kids and this was a blended family, how would you act, Alexis? What would you do?
I felt like she showed up not to actually like be supportive, but like I forgot something at the house. Oh yeah, Chris is here. I'm gonna go get this shampoo that I left in the bathroom. But
It did give that vibe.
I'm gonna see Maya off. Bye, Maya. That's what it felt like to me.
How can she say bye to a dog that she never had a relationship with? Right? Because it seemed like that Maya was there, and the way they portrayed it, that dog got in a fight. She left, went back to her apartment with Newton, and then Maya was gone. How you saying bye to it? And then Maya was in doggy prison, right? Boot camp, locked down, failing everything miserably, right? And you gonna say bye like y'all have a relationship? That dog looked at her like, whatever.
She probably growled at her.
I do not like Justin in this situation made it seem like, you know what, I'm doing the ultimate sacrifice for you, and you need to stay with me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I agree with what he said, essentially. I have agreed to give up my dog. That sounds like we're going to be together, because if we're not together, why am I giving up my dog? Nothing about my life changes. So, you're not all in? Chris, cancel. Like, where are you at? Texas? Turn around. Don't come. Because there's no reason for you to be here.
I'm on my way. Stop where you at. I'll pay for your hotel. Let me get my baby. Because I do. Like, it wouldn't have been 90% is damn near 100. It's not 100, but you could have easily, Alexis, just been like, yes, I really appreciate the gesture. And then maybe later on revisit, because that whole me saying yes and then the but, because but does negate everything. You didn't have to say the but. You could say yes. And then later on say, now these are things that I want us to work on so that I can get, because I'm at 90% and I'd like to be at 100%. I'm not her fan. So I'm not her fan. There's a lot of things that she does that just is just uncomfortable with me, and personally puts Black women in a bad light. Like, you need to just go and be on one of the housewife things, and they can put you in that bucket with them, because it just seems very mean-spirited and inconsiderate of Justin, even though he a goofer. Though, you know what I'm saying? Even though you still should be kind to him. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. And I like that he said to Nate that I feel like I'm just being played. Like, I'm not sure now, because I feel like I'm being played. I'm finally glad you're noticing that maybe she's playing a game with you. I'm glad that. And I was gonna say how you notice how Nate didn't share anything about what was happening with them about the house. He didn't say anything to Justin. He just was there as a supportive friend, because you know who your friends are. You know the people around you and who you can share with and who you can't. And he knows.
Production made them go out. Production made the Black couple go work out. Nate ain't hanging out with Justin. He's not hanging out with Justin.
But Nate hasn't shared anything with any of them. I think the only thing that he has shared at all was before they had sex, that they had not had sex.
Right.
That was literally like the extent of his sharing that we've seen.
Because we haven't seen anything. He didn't say anything about the tattoos. Mm-hmm. He didn't say anything. And you're right, absolutely right.
Yeah, what was I would have waited. If I'm Justin, I would have asked, can Maya stay in a doggy hotel a little bit longer? Do I have to pick her up now? Can I find another kennel? It is 6 days before decision day.
I was gonna say less than a week. Yeah,
less than a week before decision day. Can somebody hang on to her for 6 days? I just need 6 days. I just need to know if this girl gonna say yes, right? I just need to know if she say yes, I'll do whatever I need to do with Maya, because he might be giving Maya away, and on decision day she say no, and now you gonna have to call Chris. It's too late to call Chris, baby. Not too late, but you gotta go get your dog, bro. At this point, let me find out where we at. And I think Justin's blinded by the fact of marriage, right? Justin just wants to be married, not to because I can't see how they can have so much happiness. She's at 90%. Alexis at 90%. Just a few days ago, you was like getting ready to check out. You didn't want to be with him anymore. You tell all signs that, you know what, I don't want to be with you. But you're at 90. That's 90% for you, man. That other 10 must be real good, real great. That I don't think Alexis. I think she's lying. I mean, to my point, I don't think she likes this dude. She don't want to be with him.
She's been very creative with her words this entire season as it comes to him. And for me, a lot of it comes off as condescending
Mhm.
and it's under my skin, but she apparently knows what to say and how to say it to him to get the reaction that she needs so that he assumes you're all in.
Yeah, because I don't see how he sees it. Because now he's realized, oh, she may not be all in. And then again, he's texting her this conversation, which I agree with her. Don't text me this conversation. Let's have this conversation face to face, right? Or was it like he just got up the? Because there's some people can get up the gall to say things in text messages that they can't say face to face. And I think Justin that way. You know what? I'm thinking about it. Let me text her because face to face ain't gonna work out well. And so now I wouldn't have asked her in text message. I would ask her face to face so I can see reading your eyes if you giving me a BS or you telling me the truth or not. Let's play because I think all couples have that conversation before decision day on this show. Like, are you gonna stay with me? Are you not gonna stay with me? Are we leaving? Or what you gonna do? You should anyway. But yeah, she's playing Justin. There's no way in the world that they stay married. I don't see it. If they do stay married after decision day, it won't be long. Because there's the way that she likes to maneuver and the way that she handles, he can't control that. And he's always gonna be doing everything to try to please her, and she's gonna just do what she want to do anyway. She's gonna do.
They'll be like last season, Jasmina and Michael.
Yeah,
We're saying yes to say yes, and we don't even make it a month after the yes.
yeah, because what has she really done for him? What has she given up for him? Right? What has she done to make him feel wanted?
I was gonna say that's the one right there, wanted, because ain't nothing she said or has done to me makes me think that she wants to be with him or any of that. These people are nuts.
Yeah, I think because the question, if he was in a relationship, he probably broke up with her, if honestly. But since he's married, and his brother said it from the first episode, he just wants to be married.
Mm-hmm.
He just.
I don't know if he would have been broke up with her. He seemed like he would torture himself for a little while longer.
He'd be an emotional doormat.
Yeah, he seems like he would just be like, I'm gonna, until finally it's like everybody is telling him and everybody sees it except for him. Like, I think that he would just keep hanging on. What can I do? What can I do? But I also want to say I don't think that he's a saint in all this. He'd be talking crazy.
He does.
So I don't know. They should say no.
Yeah,
it's like the week that we do our what's it called?
Decision day.
Yeah, our decision day poll. It's not today. It's next week.
It's next week. It's next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's next week. Because I think next week. Yeah, decision day is I think next week for them. Or there's something going on next week. We had decision
the week after. Decision day is the week after. So next time we're together, we have to put who we think. We have to
next time we're together.
Jackie to do her toll and her toll. Her poll, write down what we say.
Yeah, and try to keep everybody on track. But I think
there's the word.
Those two right there. She does too much. Somebody says she's for the streets. She is for the streets. She is definitely I'm gonna say hood. she likes the hood guy. She doesn't like the guy who, as Tommy will be here, doesn't like the guy who fly kites.
I like a guy that fly kites. I'm reformed from liking hood guys, but I like guys that fly kites. That's when she was mad at that. I was like, "Why are you mad at him flying a kite? I think that's sweet. Let's go fly a kite. Put our toes in the grass."
Yeah,
I'm always just like, let's do a quiet activity. Kites is quiet. We can do that together.
Right. She doesn't want to do that. She wouldn't have took a long walk in the woods like Nate and Stacia. Right? Nope. She wants to go play ball and one-on-one. When they play basketball, that's the happiest you've seen her. When they was playing one-on-one. And when she wanted to, think about it, she really wanted to beat him and she wanted to show his competitive nature. And he might need to take her to a scrapbooking convention.
Those exist. There's a Pinterest convention. I think he would enjoy that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't try to be funny, but take her to something that she likes and see if she lets her hair down and enjoy that, to find some alternatives. Because right now, and it seems like she seems like she really go off when she be drinking. A lot of time at the house, she be tipsy.
Mm-hmm.
She be tipsy, and then you see all the comments really, really come out. So about Justin.
And I see K Max said her friends are pretty good looking, but they're not attracted to her. She does have some really nice looking guy friends.
She
Like,
does. And they
it
don't seem
makes
to
you
be good
wonder
at
why
all.
nothing happened, but you kind of get why nothing happened.
Because she one of the homies.
Mm-hmm.
She one of the homies. Them dudes like, yo,
She wasn't always one of the homies, because I be trying to be friends with people that like me. You know, when they, you know, I don't like them, they don't want to be my friend. So they ain't never liked her. They never found her. That's not true. But I be trying to be friends with my with guys, and at one point they always want they try and they try. So I don't know. They don't like you, right, Artika? They don't like her.
And then you gotta ask the question why. Have they seen her attitude? They know that she can't be she's too and she's domineering. You know, then they ask like why your people around you don't like you. You know?
I guess like Lisa said, when I think back about, because I was sitting here thinking through the guy friends that I have that have never tried anything, we've been friends since before puberty.
But way before.
So it's like we never even thought to like each other like that. It was just literally like this has been my friend since 5th or 6th grade.
Right. Since we was playing in dirt.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see you like that. They see you like a sister.
Literally, that's how, like, one of them in particular, when I got introduced to his now wife, his mom was like, "Oh, that's just his sister. I got a whole bunch of extra kids. That's just one of them."
Mm-hmm.
And literally, that's how it is. I could go to his house when he wasn't in town and have dinner with the family, but it's the same type of situation. But it is strange because I don't think she had an unattractive guy friend. As I'm like sifting through them in my mind.
Yeah, not a one. I did it too real quick. I was like, I think they was tall enough, they was attractive enough, and they were athletic enough. In addition, they probably got decent jobs, but none of them like you, ma'am. What's going on?
She got a decent job. I would love to see her in a different arena.
She got a body for God, for the gods, for days. She's got a very, very, very nice shape.
Mm-hmm.
Give her that. But her attitude sucks.
Until she opened her mouth.
Her attitude sucks, big time.
But how much of that is because she doesn't want to let anybody in? Because she has that hard exterior and she doesn't want to be hurt. And she's just going to keep putting that hard exterior on and doesn't want Justin to get in. I'm saying Justin or anyone get in. That her hard exterior is keeping her away.
Going on. I don't know if her heart not in it or whatever else not in it, but it's something.
It's something.
Not like him specifically, but I think she might have been hurt enough. I mean, we get hurt enough and we shut down and then we have to heal all over again. If she hasn't done that, maybe. I don't know. But she ain't letting Justin in. She don't like Justin.
It's like Tommy said, and I think we said it last week. The sex was the last straw. She was trying to grasp something and have something to try to keep her in a relationship, and it wasn't the sex. And so I think she's gonna bow out because it's definitely not the communication, unless they gossiping. It's not the sex, and it's not anything else. Like, why am I still here? And we all know it's for the checks. Right now, it's for the checks. She getting paid. Whatever they get paid. So she doesn't like dude. Oh man. Any other thoughts, any comments on any of these couples before we get out of here?
I got nothing else.
Me either.
We're coming to the end of the road, as Boys and Men would say.
I was just about to start singing, but I'm glad I didn't.
Great minds. See, we are really on tune today. Great minds think alike today, right? But we're getting closer. This season, I can say this season has not dragged on for me. This season has been one I'm looking forward to every Wednesday. Last season, it's Wednesday again.
Last season was hard. This season, I think I just hit the disinterest in the last couple of episodes. And it's not that I'm not interested. It's just, why does this have to be 2 hours? That's where I am. That's literally the biggest hang up that I have. Because I'm like, if we can just cut out a few unnecessary words out of each conversation, get to the point, and make this 47 minutes without the commercials, y'all would have me. But it's like it's a little bit too much some weeks. But this has been one of the better seasons of recent seasons.
Yeah, it has been. It has been. So, any closing thoughts? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything? Any other closing thoughts? Or go ahead and just promote your channels. Any new videos you got coming up? Anything like that nature before we get out of here.
No new videos. I just wanted to point out our random backdrop. Lily made a witch's cauldron today. So that's what this is, if y'all were wondering. But, we had balloons and bats and eyes and all that stuff. And she had a blast putting it together. So I was like, it'll be here until the ending of October.
Yeah. See,
Lily.
Good job, Lily. And that was Stacia's house. She
It can't go. It don't match in Stacia's.
It don't match anything Stacia's house.
I could see that.
But Stacia has to get ready for that. I know we would do that, but kids bring pictures in and do things. But good job, Lily. I like crafts.
Yes, we do a lot of arts and crafts, and she enjoys balloons, although she's afraid of my balloon pump. When it goes off, she takes off.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I have nothing else. Something that Tommy and I are working on, and hopefully we'll have at least a few of them up before we get on next week. We're going to take some of these issues that have happened in recent episodes and expound on them a little bit more. I know one of the things is definitely going to be the kids conversation and the moving in with your spouse that Talisa so graciously does not agree with. Because I had a lot to say and I had to just not say it during our review because I moved in with Tommy, but it wasn't into a home that he owned. So I have experience there. And it's trying sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm on the opposite side where someone moved in with me. And so that's why when I say I would never move in because of the way I treated him. And when I say him, I mean my late husband. So that's why for me, I'm real biased on I'm like, that's karma. It would come back. I move in and he'd be telling me to get my MF and stuff out the house. Like it would be karma. So that's part of why.
So yeah, we never had those issues.
We
had a things in the house issue.
Oh, I remember you talking about the things in the house one.
Yeah. See, we moved in and we just had established, okay, this is your house, but we're going to sit here and we're going to do everything together. We had a lot of conversations before I moved in. Like, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to take care of the bills. This is how we're going to do this. We sat and laid everything out. Probably just because of the people that we are and never had, this is my house, get out. Never had none of that.
Great. You guys are so mature. That's so great because I was not there. Okay, I was not there. I tell y'all all the time, I wasn't ready to be a wife. I wasn't ready to be nobody's wife. What are we talking about? It's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I was never ready to be someone's wife. I don't think that even though I was his second wife, he was not ready to be someone's husband. Yeah, but I'm a great person after. So. Anyway, I know my limit.
Don't be Alyssa.
I'm a good person. I like dogs. I rescue dogs. I don't, but yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Anyway, I don't have anything. I just would say make sure you're subscribed to all of us. And I hope you hit the like button in here before you go.
Yeah. And make sure you tune in next week.
Please. Tell your friends, the ones that y'all meet through here and y'all be talking, make sure you come back.
Yep. And go to TalisaRay.com and still get her journal.
Please and thank you. I'm doing a 30-day fall into change on TikTok and Instagram that I think I'm going to turn into a whole course because it's really beneficial to me and some people who are doing it with me. So I think I may make it a whole course. But yeah. Follow me over there too.
Yep. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening, good afternoon. Enjoy yourselves. I'm on my way to have fun with my 18-year-old who turned 18 today.
So have a good time. Happy 18th birthday.
If you haven't seen Jack, that's what she has for our 18-year-old. She's having a little function a little bit later. And I'm on my way.
Okay.
Y'all have a good one.